Okay, I think I'm live. The quality is not going to be the greatest, the video or audio quality. I'm currently in an Airbnb in Anaheim, getting ready for the Boon to Eve Anaheim event, and a YouTube video just got released of some of the gameplay, and I thought I've got to check it out and see how we can start playing right now. So. I was looking at how the gameplay works and the way the deck looks like it's structured. And you can actually play right now if you have our Corellian deck. You should be able to play Kessle Sabacc just perfectly with that deck. So similar to Kessle Sabacc, our Corellian deck, for the first 6 numbers, we use the dice symbols. And that's one of the main features of the Kessle Sabacc deck, is using the dice symbols. Now, not all of our symbols correspond with the same ones in Kessle Sabacc. So, for example, in Kessle Sabacc, this one that looks like a spike is the 1. In ours, it's the 5. And so the numbers are a little off, but because we do the same thing, we have each of the dice symbols is a different one of the 6 numbers, then you'll be able to play it perfectly. So the makeup of the deck, for the most part, is 3 sets of 1 through 6 in one color, and then another 3 sets of 1 through 6 in another color. So in the gameplay, they have different backs. So you've got it's got like the tan back that we are used to, and then like a brownish back. But you should be able to play just fine, just as long as when you shuffle your cards to set up the game, you'll shuffle the 3 sets of 1 through 6. So 18 cards of the blue, 18 cards of the red, and you'll shuffle them separately and then lay them down face down on the table. And then you'll maybe you can like write next to which one's blue, which one's red. That way you don't forget which one's which. So the idea is you've got both of those piles in your hand. So that's 18 cards on each side. So 36 cards is the main part of the deck. Then there are 2 Psylops that are full wild cards. So if you have the 4 and you have a Psylop, then it's like having 2 4s. Similarly, if you've got a 1 or a 3. So the Psylop is for the first time, it's really a trump card. So if you're going to cheat, where'd my other Psylop go? There it is. If you're going to cheat, I keep throwing it down. Oh, there we go. Okay. If you're going to cheat, then in Kessle Sabacc, the Psylop is definitely like just similarly to how we see it in Solo, where Lando Calrissian has the Psylop in his little wrist thing. In Kessle Sabacc, the Psylop, it's always worth having a Psylop. It's a complete joker, exactly. So, and then there's there's one other card. I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember if they told what it was called, but it's kind of like a wild type card. So I'll explain kind of how it works. So what I've done is, we know that there's at least 4 of these in the deck. So in our Corellian deck, I just picked this one because the symbol on here kind of looks similar to the one in Kessle Sabacc. So this one is the 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So these are the 10 cards. And we know there's at least 4 of them in the deck. There might be more, but in one of the hands that we see played, you as the player character, you have one set of these, and then one of your opponents has another set of these. So we know there's at least 4. So the way these cards work is say you've got the 4, and then for your red card, you've got this like wild card. What you're going to do is you're going to roll the dice, and then the symbols that appear, you can choose from them, and then select which one you want. So let me grab a pair of dice. I've got a pair of dice in my suitcase real quick. Okay, so say you roll the dice, and I'll give an example. Let's see, where's my hand? Okay, so here's my hand, and I roll the Sabacc dice, and I get these 2. So I can choose one of those symbols, and then this wild type card will change to be one of those symbols. So ideally, when I roll the dice, I want to get one of them that matches the same symbol as my other card, as the 4. So I would ideally want to roll and try and get the 4. So you've got a similar element of the dice, the Psylop, and then trying to make a hand. I think it's kind of fun that they have like a wild type card that uses the dice. That way we can still use the same dice. So like I said, there's at least 4 of them in the deck, and it's kind of luck of the draw, but I mean, it's decently good odds. You've got 2 dice and you can choose one of them. In the gameplay, I think you as the player character at one point has 2 of these as their hand, and then she rolls it once, selects one of the symbols, and then rolls the pair again and selects the second symbol, so that she kind of does them consecutively. So one, and each one you get to roll both dice. So you got decently good odds. So in the gameplay, you kind of see all of those main mechanics in play. You get to see 2 players use these wild type cards, and then you get to see you as the player character using one of the Psylops with another card to get a Sabacc. And then there's one other like specialty thing that it has. I wrote it down. Let me see. Kind of disorganized because my stuff's, oh, here it is. Okay, so the last part that's special is every player gets 3 what are called shift tokens. So it's like a free action you can take. If you think about like a role-playing game, it's a free action you can take before you draw or before you stand. So when right when it starts your turn, before you do any actions, then you can take a quick action, and you've got 3 options, and you can use them once per game. Yeah, I think that's right. Once per game. So, and game is different from hand. So like we're all at the table playing, and everyone has their 3 free actions they can take. And then when we're all done for the evening, or when new people come in, maybe we'd reset it. But so the free actions are a free draw, refund 2 chips, and general tariff. So I'll talk about each one of those. So in Kessle Sabacc, similar to some of the house rules for Spike, where you have to pay to do actions, Kessle Sabacc, you have to pay 1 credit to draw. And you can draw the face-up cards, face-down cards. And I'll kind of show you what that looks like in just a minute. But so your shift token that is free draw gives you 1 free draw. It's pretty self-explanatory. So it just saves you 1 credit. So The next one is refund 2 chips. That would be when you've been like paying to draw on the hand, the current hand, then you can pay the refund 2 chips and you can pull 2 of your chips back. So maybe you would use this if you're 2 hands deep into um, I guess 2 rounds deep into one hand, and you're like, there's no way I'm going to win. I'll just refund my chips. And then the last one is called General Tariff. And I believe it makes everyone pay. Everyone has to pay one. So uh, all other are taxed 1 credit. So um, that I'm not really clear on where that tax goes, if it goes straight to you or if it goes into the pot. It looks like to me, it wouldn't make sense if it just goes like straight into the pot. It would make more sense if it actually like goes to you. So I'm pretty sure that's what it ends up doing. But after looking at the shift token, so each shift token has like a different design, and they're all like pretty simple, the designs themselves. So once I get back in town, this will be probably Thursday, then we'll go ahead and whip up some like acrylic ones if people want to actually start playing Kessle Sabacc right away. Then I'll probably have some quick prototypes and then list it on our shop, and you can buy like a 3-pack. A pack of the 3 for up to 4 players. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. So 12 tokens. And we'll just do like throw something up on the shop real quick. So that way you can start playing. It looks like it's a 4-player game specifically. And I think that's mostly because you're kind of splitting your Sabacc deck in half when you're playing. And so similarly to Shift, where you're going through so many cards that you can only play with 4, then Kessel also looks like it's 4 just because you're splitting your Sabacc deck at 6. So like at least 36 plus at least 4 of the wild cards, which would be 40, and then the 2 Psylops, so that would be 42. Okay, so the way the gameplay works, I'm going to see if I can balance my laptop to kind of show off the gameplay a little bit. Let's see. Let's see if I go like... maybe put it like this. Let's see. I've got to figure out a better way to do this. Maybe I'll just hold it up. So you'll have your 2 decks, your red and your blue deck, and then each one will have its own discard pile. So the game starts with the 2 hands down, and then you'll have your discard piles. So like this. So you'll have the 2 draw piles in the center, and then the discard piles off to the side. And then each player will be dealt their hand, and then you've got 3 rounds similar to Spike. So if I draw this as my hand, then what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to match the symbols. You're trying to get a pair, and then my 2 options for I guess my 3 options are play one of my shift tokens, or draw a card, or stand. So I don't have a pair, so I would want to draw a card, and the lowest pair wins. So I'm going to be trying to get rid of this 3 and keep the 2. So I would pay 1 to discard and then draw. Well, I didn't get a good card. So gameplay goes around. Then I would do the same thing again. I would probably still try and get rid of this one. Depending on what is out on the discard pile, you can still pay 1 to grab the discard pile. So if the card I'm looking for, the 2 pops up in the discard pile, then I can just pay to grab it. But so I'll keep this one, discard the 6, pay to draw. I got another 6. And then come around, do it again. So at this point, the game's over. I've done my 3 rounds, and then I would be showing. So that's the basic actions of the gameplay. And it looks like, assuming that there are only the 4, I mean, there could even be up to 6 of these like wild cards, and you'd still be able to play with this deck. So like I said, the specific numbers on here are not the exact same as Kessle Sabacc, but where we already have all of the symbols on it, you can play right now. If you've got the Corellian Spike, our Corellian version of the Corellian Spike deck, you can play it right now. So tonight at Bunta Eve, Anaheim, I'll probably be teaching some Kessle Sabacc. See how the gameplay works with people who know Sabacc, and actually have some betting and see if we can get some fun games. It'll be interesting to see. It would be fun for me. I think it would be fun to allow people to create custom shift tokens, because the shift tokens that they have, like by default, the free draw and the general tariff and the refund 2 chips, they seem quite generic. And so I think it would be really fun if you added like specialty ones. Maybe every cantina would have their own specialty shift tokens. It'd be really fun to do, like a really fun way to add house rules. So you could do something like, you could do something where the dice play a bigger role. So if you play your shift token, then maybe you roll the dice, and like everyone gets to choose one symbol, and their card changes to that or something. Like you could do some stuff with the dice a lot more. Another thing I was thinking about was you could maybe have a shift token that would give you some sort of like cheating ability, because in the actual gameplay, it shows how you as the character sends your little pet to go and try and cheat and look at the other player's cards. And so I think it would be fun to maybe have a shift token that's like a cheating thing. Maybe you can peek at one of their cards or both of their cards, and that's one of the shift tokens you can use. But there's so many options for the shift tokens, and where you can just slot it in. So any cantina could come up with a ton of their own stuff. So I think it'll be really fun for the customizations to see what shift tokens people come up with. And you could just do, like I said, completely anything. And you could even do more shift tokens, like person who has the best costume gets an extra shift token. Or you could even do something where you could maybe bet the shift tokens, and then whoever wins the pot would win somebody's shift token. So there's a lot of fun stuff that I think that can happen. It'll be interesting to see how many people we can put on it. if we can put like 6 people on it, or if it really is like 4 is kind of the hard limit when it comes to playing Kessel Sabacc. So I'll be doing a bunch of play testing tonight, hopefully, and hopefully when I'm actually back at my house and in front of my computer, I can actually do a better video instead of just like a hurry quick, Kessle Sabacc was released, I got to put together something real quick. So if you have any questions or ideas for shift tokens, definitely let me know. But on just look out on Thursday. Yeah, Wednesday night or Thursday. I'll get home Wednesday night late, but I'm really excited about Kessle Sabacc, so I might just go ahead and model up the shift tokens right away. But if not Wednesday, then Thursday, look for a pack of 12 shift tokens. And I mean, even if you want to get started before then, you could just do quick paper tokens. And then as long as you've got this deck makes it really easy. You could, in theory, play it with any spike deck. You would just need to have a key of what symbol equals what number. So you would know, like, oh, if I have number 1s, then on Kessle Sabacc, it would be this symbol, like the spike symbol. So you could get playing with any deck, but it's extra easy with this Corellian deck. So like I said, if you have any ideas for shift tokens or any ideas for how we can spice up the gameplay, it doesn't look like there's any kind of betting phase. The only betting is just the fees you pay for the cards. So maybe it might be interesting to add like a betting phase in. So, but I mean, that'll be something that we'll just have to play test and see what everybody in the community thinks. But let me know what ideas you have, what questions you have, and we can kind of figure out Kessle Sabacc together, put together a fun rule set for the Outer Rim Sabacc League, and get going on playing. So thank you guys so much for being here. Like I said, let me know if you have any questions and we can figure stuff out. So have a good day and start playing Kessle Sabacc. Let's get going on it. See you guys.